So looking at this session, which is Scheme Design 8, we are going to look at the question of ongoing support, and in particular thinking about learning sets. So Reg Revans in the UK in the 1980s was the first person to put forward this idea of action learning sets. And he said that, or he created a formula, which is that learning is the sum of instruction and questioning insight. And so action learning needs to be attached to some kind of intervention. In this case, it's mentoring and coaching. And Pedler, who wrote about action learning in 2005, he suggests that action learning is predominantly has some of the following key features. First of all, there are learning sets, groups of about 6 people in each set, that the action is focused on a real task or a real problem at work, and this actually relates to a real challenge or a real problem found within the mentoring or coaching scheme. That learning is from reflection on the actions taken, that tasks and problems are individual rather than collective. So each individual mentor or each individual coach might provide some kind of input into the discussion of the action learning set. And the tasks are chosen independently by individuals. And the questioning as the main way to help participants proceed is focused on their tasks and their problems in relation to mentoring and coaching. And of course, it needs to be part of an existing program, the coaching and mentoring scheme under this particular situation. A facilitator is needed and used, and ground rules within the learning set are established, rather like you would in a coaching or mentoring session. And that within action learning, there are 3 types of learning that are at play in the action learning set. One is called speculative, which is basically knowledge for its own sake. We just learn something because we want to learn it. Emancipatory is knowledge that helps us overcome power problems, and this could actually be completely relevant in mentoring and coaching schemes. And it's about developing highest human potential. And also the learning from an action learning set is performative. It is about producing actions which are going to help people to improve, to provide better goods, better services, a better mentoring program, a better coaching program. And how the set works is that, first of all, there's a check-in. And how this works is that people will say what's on their mind at the moment and what's happened since the last time they met. Or if it's the first set, they just say what's on their mind at the moment. Then the ground rules are established, or people are reminded of the ground rules. Then there could be a group discussion about the themes that have come forward for discussion. Individuals are given time slots, and once they've been discussed and each individual has said how they want to be helped, like questioned or challenged or given suggestions or advice or inviting other people to share their experience, people then check out. And it's important that they close down and they check out by saying what it is they have got from the action learning set. And then there's a review of everything that's gone on. It's also important that the participants bring the preparatory work that they've agreed by the set to the meeting. That they're willing to share individual information, aspirations, problems, whatever it happens to be, and they're willing to listen and give feedback and question and listen to what other people have to say. And the role of the facilitator is to model the process, the very much coaching and mentoring type process. It's to fill in what's not there. It's to mark learning points. So the facilitator may say, did you notice that? That seems to be an important and significant piece of learning here. It's to facilitate and review the set processes to make sure that the ground rules are being adhered to and the time slots are being adhered to. And it's certainly not to give the answer, because there isn't one. The answer is found within the learning set. And it's not to teach people things. It's not to provide certainty either. Action learning sets can be quite uncertain. It's certainly not to take responsibility for problems or the solutions, a bit like a coach or a mentor. And sets can be formed on a number of criteria. For example, geographical location, diversity of participants could be a reason, common interests, personal empathy or friendships, professional skills and background, and learning sets are powerful vehicles for personal and professional development. And sometimes learning sets can be very uncomfortable. In my experience, they can sometimes be very challenging to people and they can be quite difficult to work through. Stick with the process. Learning sets are also a place where you can focus on your own development, and sometimes they're deeply frustrating because somebody is not shifting or moving and it's not your job to tell them. And learning sets are often unique. No two learning sets are the same. And often they are also incredibly supportive. So we've talked about learning sets, we've talked about what they're for, how they work, number 6 people, establishing ground rules, the use of a facilitator, what a facilitator does, what a facilitator doesn't do, and what the participants do and what they don't do.